So as we're going through this project, many things are changing, things are moving on, and I get a lot of comments. You know, I can't. One of the reasons I don't respond to all comments because it's just too many. I just can't respond to all of them. Especially some of them are like essays. They're like huge, long comments, and you know, it take me so long to read for all of them and to respond. I do my best to read all of the comments because I want to get your insights. I just don't have the time to always respond. But also another thing that happens is sometimes, or a lot of times, the same comments keep coming up. People notice the same things and they just, you know, of course it's natural, they tell those things to share them so I would know them, but I'm like, okay, I know this and I heard this. But at the same time, if the same comment keeps coming back up, it's a good sign for me that, you know, probably that's something that needs to be addressed. And one of those things which need to be addressed, it's, I'll read a couple of comments to you and you'll figure out what's the point. So username Savcob wrote in a poetic way, like a poem. Anyway, he wrote, "It's like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory." And then he added the real thought, P.S. May I ask, what is the final goal? What is you're trying to achieve? So that's a sound question. I get that a lot. And then Lori Powell, hopefully I read it right. Sorry, Lori. I'm pretty sure Lori is right. So she wrote a long comment, but it's a good comment, and I'll read it through quickly. So Rokas said, "Watched a lot of your videos. I've been watching them from background, never made comments. You ventured into a journey that many would never do. You tried to test your traditional Aikido in a sparring situation and sadly it failed. I commend you for trying." So all is good. "Since then, you interviewed many big martial arts names. You keep asking questions, which is cool. I like that you're taking this path. Please don't take the first following personally." I didn't. It was a great comment. "It's just my viewpoint." Brackets. "You keep trying to get others to solve for problems for you. After all these interviews and all the feedback, I'm yet to see a video where you incorporate what you have learned from those videos." So that was true. A couple of weeks ago, my editing guy, Eamon Tassi, also said the same thing to me. He has good foresight. It was true. I realized it's true. It took me time to get ready to start building that up with all kind of starting to work with the stuff that I built up theoretically. And finally I do. Finally, we're doing a lot of drills. I'm going to go to England to train with a qualified instructor. So finally, I'm planning to really intensely start doing training. We're going to meet up with Aikido Flow guys. We're going to train in live setting, but also just regular training, regular drills. I'm looking forward to maybe go and train some boxing and etc. So yes, that's there. We're starting to do sparring. Next week you'll see a sparring we did where I try to do takedowns. So trust me, we're solving that. So thanks for the comment. A lot of people said that. You're totally right. We're solving that. Don't worry, things are going to start get moving. They're already moving a bit. But the next part is still great. So Laurie continues. "What is your goal here? Are you trying to make Aikido street applicable? Are you trying to make it sport fighting system? Are you leaning towards making Aikido viable, or are you leaning towards cross training? Your goal isn't clear at this point. It's time you took all the advice from Lenny Sly, Dan DeWolfman, Roy Dean, Bruno Roscoe, who commented below. Bruno Roscoe, the interview is out by the time this video is out next week. Full interview, really great guy. Watch the interview. Okay, further. Aikido Flow et al. And show or explain what you have learned from them." So basically, oh, sorry, I made this difficult. So she said, it's time for you to take advice from these guys and to show or explain what you have learned from them. Because at this point, I'm unsure whether you're trying to better yourself in Aikido or if you're just trying to grow your channel. Very good point, very true. So let's talk about this in a short way. So I do have an intricate, big plan in my mind, but it's so big and it's so vast that it's hard to share it all. You know, YouTube is such a medium where I get only 7 to 10 minutes brackets of time where I have to drill down the main ideas and I can only say one side of them. It's a tough medium to work through. So that's one part where it's hard to be clear and hard to explain everything. But at the same time, there's another part to this. And the other part, maybe even more important. I'm very much a trial and error guy. I do want to learn from the best. I do want to learn the basics. I do want to learn from others, but I want to learn through experience. I want to expose myself, throw myself into the boiling water and learn from that experience rather than just to be theoretical. And it's funny because I guess for the past year, I did so much talking, so much interviews, and I keep doing them that I guess it looks like the opposite. But if you look at my Aikido versus MMA video, which started this whole project, it was all about that. It was me about throwing myself out there without too much prep, just saying, let's do this and learn from this. And I learned so much. And it took me quite a while to digest it, to realize what happened, what I should do, what's Aikido, what's combative systems, what's MMA. It was a new world for me. And finally, I feel I'm starting to realize how it's laid down. But at the same time, instead of making this, just sticking to my ideas and making it into this nice idea, package it and say, okay, my plan is, I will do this and this and that. While I have a layout in my mind towards what I'm working to, at the same time, I don't want to get stuck to ideas. I want to keep pushing myself, which right now I'm specifically doing on a more intensive level. I want to keep pushing myself. I want to expose myself. I want to throw myself into those boiling waters. I want to fail. I want to learn from failure rather than just keeping my distance and kind of pretending that I'm doing something and doing what I want rather than what's necessary, or deciding things and making conclusions out of no real exposition. I guess I needed time to prepare for that. It took me a lot of time to prepare for this step, to really see where I want to get started, how I want to get started. But my plan right now is to start throwing myself out there, just do drills, do sparring, meet up with various coaches, professors, instructors, learn from them, learn the basics of various arts, learn sparring, and just to train and see what comes out of that. So while, as you mentioned, there's this Aikido street applicable aspect, honestly, I can tell you straight away, that is my main goal. That's what I really want to bring it down to. But before I try boxing, before I try sparring, before I go back to MMA and do the sparring again, before I learn MMA and combat sports or sports fighting system, how can I really know, if my self-defense system won't fail as much as all the other traditional martial arts self-defense systems fail, because there's no reality behind it. So I want to go, right now my focus is a bit still leaning towards the sports fighting systems, but I want to also, through that experience, to realize how it works, to look at the lacks of it as well, and then to start seeing, okay, what's the self-defense value? What is really making sense here if I apply it to a self-defense scenario? And also as an instructor, if I want to be good, I do want to be knowledgeable and experienced in both of these realms, because as you'll see, we spoke about with Bruno Roscoe about that very specifically. Self-defense and combat sports, yes, they're different. And I would like to pressure test Aikido in such a way that it would be applicable to MMA, at least to some extent, but that is not my main goal. First of all, I want to go through that process, but then to bring it down to self-defense, to see, okay, what is the minimum self-defense system for Aikido so that it could still have that image of protecting yourself, not image, but that quality of protecting yourself and protecting others, but in an efficient way. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't want to fixate myself on a certain point. I do have a vision. I do want to bring Aikido to an efficient self-defense variation, which draws inspiration from everything that's effective. Those are my points. Hopefully I'm coming across myself. And I think basically what I want to ask all of you is just, give me time. Give me the space to explore, to throw myself out, to train, do stuff, and let's see what comes out. Let's not make an idea and just stick to it and try to make it reality, but let's have that idea, let's have that vision, let's have that direction like a North Star, but let's keep pushing and seeing where the experience will bring us, rather than just trying to put ourselves in another box, which Aikido is suffering from as well. So while I have a vision, while I have a direction, which is more self-defense oriented, I want to expose myself, I want to boil myself out, I want to fail as much as I can, to learn from those failures, and to learn from experience, and to see, and to define the vision, define the solution as I go through this with your help, with all of you together. That's my main goal. So if I'm not clear enough, probably that's okay. That's kind of the point. It's not about being so clear. It's about, it's like Buddha said. That's what Savkop started with. He said it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And yes, the destination will be there, but let's enjoy the journey. Let's drill ourselves through it, let's learn from experience, and then when we have something done, let's see where we can put that in the context of Aikido. I think that's kind of my main idea. But if you feel like criticizing that, as always, yes, I'm all open for feedback. Let me know. I want to grow from you. But just before I finish, I'll read the last point of Lori Powell. She said, last sentence was, tip of the day, stop wearing Batman t-shirts in every video. No one is going to take you seriously. This is just my opinion and does not necessarily affect the views of others. Don't take it personally, please. I didn't take it personally. I wrote back the comment, but well, sadly, I'm not wearing a Batman t-shirt today. This is Nico Shipchak's Mindful Movement t-shirt. Great t-shirt, great guy. But anyway, no, I'll keep on wearing Batman t-shirts because I love them. And you need to do what you love. That's an example. It's not about, and then Lori, she actually wrote back to my comment. She said, she quoted Batman from the movie Batman Begins. She said, it's not what you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Very well said. I could have not said better. That's a good ending point. So, I ranted a lot. I'll crystallize it later, make it into a better video, but this was my vlog. Let me know what you think. Help me out to clarify my vision. Until then, let's keep on training, winning, failing, and seeing where we get. So that's it for today.